What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. Let me adjust the camera angle a bit. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. That kind of was really bothering me there. All right. So let's get right into it. In case y'all didn't know, but I'm sure most of y'all did, a couple weeks ago, I did a video titled 3 Things That I Hate About Glock. Actually, it might not have even been a couple weeks ago. It might have been a week ago. It might have been less. I do so many videos, y'all. You got to understand that it's hard to keep track eventually. So let's get right into it. If y'all didn't remember or didn't know, I did my video 3 Things That I Hate About Glock. Now, some of those things more so were about the company's, I guess the direction the company chose to take when it came to certain products that they could have made. However, that did also relate to the firearms themselves as well, as it is the company that makes them. So I'm going to be talking about 3 things that I do like about Glock, and let's get right into it. So for starters, Glock handguns are extremely reliable. There is no denying the reliability of pretty much any Glock other than the Glock 44s when they first came out. There's no arguing the reliability. I'm sorry, but the only way that a Glock won't be reliable is if you've done something to it. You've either changed something out, you've messed with the magazine, or even one possibility as well that might have nothing to do with you. The magazine springs are completely worn out, but that takes a long time to do. And I doubt a lot of y'all have done that. But regardless, besides the point, moving on, you cannot argue against the reliability of a Glock handgun. Some people have legitimately put 8,000 rounds through their Glock, no cleaning, no lubing up, no stopping in the middle, nothing, just 8,000 rounds through their Glock and haven't cleaned it. And it still functions. I'm sorry, but there's not too many handguns that have that level of reliability, and to be able to maintain that level of reliability for as long as Glock has is more than impressive enough. So yes, of course, that is going to be the number one thing that I mentioned. Obviously, is going to be the reliability. Once again, for those of y'all who would try to argue against the reliability, you have to be honest enough with yourself to admit that you either changed something about it so it's not a completely stock Glock anymore, or it's an aftermarket mag or something along those lines. Those are the only ways you can argue against Glock's reliability, and that's truthfully not even against Glock or their reliability. It's against the reliability of the part that you added in there, whether it be an aftermarket magazine or an aftermarket part as a whole. Now, moving on just from the reliability. Number 2, the aftermarket availability. And I know I was just talking down on aftermarket parts, and I know I've done a video explaining why you should not use aftermarket parts for your defensive guns, at least. I can also say that if you're like me and you own, well, several guns and you already have your defensive guns pretty much, together, then yeah, you might get a Glock that is like, hey, I'm gonna have some fun with it. I'm gonna change the trigger out. I'm gonna change the barrel out. I'm gonna change whatever. You know what I mean? And you're not too worried about how reliable it is, considering it's more of a range toy for you. Now, in order to do that, you need a good variety of aftermarket parts, whether we're talking from different companies, the same company, same parts, but small, tiny, different details, different configurations, whatever. You need a good aftermarket base for that to even be possible. There's no arguing against the variety of aftermarket parts that are made for Glock. It is literally the number 1 most customizable handgun due to the fact that it has so many aftermarket parts made for it. That is due to its popularity, everybody. That is due to its popularity. You see what I mean? So yeah, of course, I'm going to very much so like the fact that if I wanted to, I can sit there and just go online and find aftermarket parts with ease. No problem whatsoever. Not having to worry about, oh, well, they might be out of stock. Let me check this website. Nope, they are. I don't have to worry about any of that. I don't have to call around a bunch of stores. I can go online and whatever aftermarket part I would want for my Glock, I can find. It's not that hard. It's really not. Now, moving on, because I can tell I'm starting to go in circles on number two. Number three, and this one, I think, truthfully speaking, is not the biggest one because it might be considered the biggest one, who knows? But my whole point is that my third thing that I really like about Glock is the fact that it essentially paved the way for so many firearms that have been released since Glock was created. Since the Glock 17 got dropped, essentially all the other competitors have had to up their game now because you're dealing with a lighter gun that's probably going to hold a better capacity and it is extremely reliable. Those are three things that a lot of companies have, they've had to be on their toes about. It's not like it's, oh yeah, well, it's a fad. People tried saying that, and guess what? Glock is the most popular handgun on the planet. And for people who disagree with me that, they don't understand that a Glock is going to be the most popular handgun on the planet, one, a simple Google search can tell you that. But two, go to any store around and you will find a Glock. Any store. Unless it's like 2021, right after COVID, kind of during it somewhat, but also right after it, you know what I mean? That era, yeah, sure, you can make the argument that there were no guns in the stores, let alone Glocks. Same thing with 2020. However, that has nothing to do with the availability of them or the popularity of them. More so the fact that it is so popular that people have bought it all out. Now, back to what I was saying beforehand, because I kind of wanted to get that out too, but that's besides the point. Glock has paved the way for so many other companies to where they've sat here and said, okay, yeah, well, we need to change our game up a little bit. Instead of some metal hammer fire guns, we're going to change it up to some polymer striker fire guns. Oh, we can get more rounds in this gun. Let's do that. Oh, we can make it a tiny bit lighter. Let's go ahead and do that. There are so many things that wouldn't have happened, so many firearms that we probably would not have today if Glock wasn't created. Now, I think that about wraps it up for this video. I'm trying to think if there's really any bonus, a bonus thing that I really like about Glock that I could throw in here, like off the top of my head. But I think that about wraps it up here. I think those three are the best here. So overall, what are the three things that I really like about Glock? The reliability, the aftermarket availability, and then last but not least, what it did for the firearms world and how Glock has made all the other competitors need to stand on their toes, which has now left us in a state where we can get a bunch of very good, very reliable guns for, generally speaking, much cheaper than what you would find other brands for. Now, with that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all, and whether or not you agree with me about these things that I like about Glock, comment them down below. I want to know why. But whether or not you agree with me, make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.